So with CM Punk, let's say, and he wants to be a fighter, he wants to do this.
So do I.
If you want to be a fighter, and you want to do this.
Come spar over at
No, hold on.
Boxing.
You can't say it's about the purity of the sport and you love the sport. If you love the sport, you could have went down so many different avenues.
Yes.
If it wasn't about the $500,000 that you made, which you were the third or fourth high-paced guy on the card without any experience, and then pay-per-view bonus, you're making 7 figures. So you got paid 7 figures. If it's not about the money and fame and the recognition, which is like it's not about that, this isn't about this, you're wrong. Because if it wasn't, you would have went and fought at your level and fought at the amateur
100%.
ranks, or like Dana White offered you, you could have went through the Ultimate Fighter and could have earned your stripes. Exactly. But you wanted the recognition, you wanted to belong in the club, which is it's fucking tough getting this club, and man, you got to have some credentials.
In the UFC,
and you just
to be
got
on
right
the UFC
in.
roster.
It's like
all those fighters in the world. You mean all those Olympic wrestlers, all those guys who fought all their life? What? Yeah.
You want to be part of the Abercrombie Fight Club? It's going to take some work.
It's going to take
some work.
Yeah.
You just don't get right in. He got right into the club.
I love,
and he
I
also
love
got
this,
paid
though.
more.
That's
You know
what
what
I
I'm
love
saying?
about comedy. What I love about fighting. You want to be a comic? Get up. You want to be a fighter?
Well, I
get
was
in the
just
ring.
going to say, one of the smartest people I know said there's 2 things you can't fake: fighting and comedy. And in fighting, it's never been more clear that it was a complete shit show. And how many guys, and I see the outlash, and people get mad at me on Twitter and Instagram, say, oh, you're just salty at the UFC. I'm not salty. People go, how's it any different than Tim Tebow or you, Tim Tebow going to baseball, or you going from the NFL to fighting? Let me tell you something.
So vastly different.
Let me tell you something. The reason why it's different is I have a background in professional, collegiate, high school, grappling, fighting, sports, competing at the highest level in the world, world-class level in other sports.
Correct.
So that would be considered an athlete.
Yeah.
Tim, one of the greatest college football players of all time, Heisman winner, won the AFC West with the Denver Broncos, National Football League, won a playoff game in the National Football League, played for the New York Jets, starting quarterback for the National Football League. Then he goes to baseball.
Harder worker.
Then he goes to baseball, in which 22 out of the however many teams want to sign the guy. So he did something right. But he also played baseball in high school and was recruited and drafted out of high school, Major League Baseball. Again, that would be an athletic background. CM Punk.
It's just stupid to even have to answer that question. It makes me angry.
Dude, trust me, my Twitter and Instagram feed makes me angry. CM Punk has, now listen to me very clear, put down the Cheetos, all the wrestlers who are like, I thought he had this. Put down the fucking Cheetos.
Trained with him.
Put down the nachos. Let me tell you
with him.
something. Again, tell your mom to stop yelling at you from the basement. Now listen. He has no athletic background. There's no athletic background. The equivalent to him fighting the UFC is the same, and this is the only comparison, it's the same as if fucking Bradley Cooper wanted to fight in the UFC. That has more similarity, CM Punk fighting the UFC, than Tim playing baseball.
Correct.
If Bradley Cooper, who's an entertainer, who has no athletic background, wanted to fight in the UFC, and they signed him to a contract because he's going to sell fights, that's the exact same thing as letting CM Punk fight in the UFC. I like Mickey Gall. He has a ton of potential.
Yep, a lot of potential.
He has a lot of work to do.
Sure, and he knows that. I'm sure
he knows that. Sage Northcutt isn't the fight for you, brother. Let them build you up.
Sage is just too
much.
Too much.
Way too much. Sage has been training since he was fucking 14. His dad had, creatine and buffalo meat and acai in his ass.
Athlete,
yeah, but he was like flipping tires when he's 3. No, that's not the fight for you. And he has wins in the UFC. Fight another guy. Let him do that fucking Finding a Fighter YouTube show.
Bring him up
to
slower.
The
Bring it up a little
100%.
slower. Yeah.
You have a
Give him
name.
2 years.
But I'm telling you, man, you're gonna be that guy who beat CM Punk if they throw you to the veterans.
Right.
Don't be that guy. And UFC, do him a fucking favor. He's young. He's obviously gets it because he's calling guys out. He beat CM Punk so people know who he is. Don't throw him to the wolves. Let him build. Because
Build the kid up.
Because if they throw him to the 170 fucking wolves just sitting there salivating, it's murder's row.
Yeah.
And his career, he's gonna be 3 and done. Okay, you beat CM Punk. You made $32,000.
Right.
Go around and try doing fucking book signings because you beat CM Punk. Ain't happening. Ask Pete Rose how that turned out. It ain't happening.
Now he's got
His book tours are shit.
You're right. He's 24 years old. He's got a whole career.
He has
ahead
a lot
him.
of fight in him. He beat a
slowly.
huge name. Let's not jump right at Sage Northcutt.
Yeah.
Granted, I'd love to see the fight. Not a good fight for you. Build him up, but you're in the UFC.
Oh, well, that's the thing.
And Ed Soares always told me and Ed Soares, who's a phenomenal manager, probably the best in the world. Everyone, Anderson Silva, Nogueras, Glover, everyone. he goes, well, I was talking about Glover versus, I forget someone. I went, God, it's a bad fight for him. And he goes, Brendan, it's the UFC. If you can't beat everyone, you shouldn't be there. If you don't have some advantage over whoever they throw our way, you shouldn't be there.
It's amazing.
Well, that's good. Good point. Why was he running?
I feel like Alistair Overeem doesn't believe he's like. You have to believe that you deserve being a champion.
Steroids a hell of a drug, Brian Callen.
Might be also that.
You know what Uberim would have done to Stipe? You know what Uberim, who was like, who you want to talk about a fucking destructor of a man, guy who, Brock, you have whatever fuck tuberculosis, where the fuck it was in your gut. I'm gonna kick you in the gut.
Yeah.
And walked through. That Overeem beats anyone in the world.
Yeah.
The Overeem that we saw, he was scared. He was on his bike. He looked like me at Metamoris against Cyborg.
It didn't even look like he was scared.
He was running like me.
But for me, it looked like he was lackadaisical.
It looked like he's scared.
Like I'm sure for you, but for me,
it looked like it looked like he knew that Stipe wants to get him against the cage and go to work. That's what Stipe does his best work when he's going forward. Your back's the cage, then he does work.
I got you.
From takedowns to everything, goes to work. So I think he thought, if I get my back cage, you usually use footwork and circle out. When I say footwork, I don't mean get on your bike and run away. He literally looked like me in Metamoris.
So what is that? What is that footwork? What is that? What is?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. There's no school in fucking the Netherlands, America, California.
Running in
it
a
was
circle.
Straight up running.
But it was also
you're a K1 fucking champion.
But wait, it was also a lazy jog. It's like the kind of jog you do when somebody's like at a stoplight and the light is green.
I agree.
And you got to run, but you don't really run. You kind of jog. Dane Cook has a bit about that where you just kind of jog slowly.
Yeah.
He was doing the, hey, thanks for holding your car up.
Like no sense of urgency.
No, let me just jog. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Let me tell you, B, think about this. How long does he know about this fight? 12 weeks at least? 13 weeks?
Yeah.
Someone came up with that game plan.
Which was?
To run. If your back's against the cage, you'll run. I'm a counter striker, so when my back foot would go past that black line or touch the cage, you circle out. You use footwork, you circle out. You take angles, you circle out. No one in the history of fighting goes, I need you to turn your back and fucking run. Get to the center of the cage.
Turn your back and run.
Fucking run.
Take a jog. Take a lap.
But I'm Alistair Overeem.
Take a lap.
I go, but I'm Alistair Overeem.
Go ahead and take a lap.
I'm probably the most technical striker in the heavyweight division of all time. Have you seen my credentials? I get that. Here's what we're gonna do. Forget all that stuff. But I've won 4 in a row, man. I beat some of the very best in the world. Again, I get that. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna come out to the Pride Anthem. It's gonna be sick. You're gonna come out to the Pride Anthem. You're gonna be wearing Reebok. We're gonna put you in Reebok. You're gonna walk out to the octagon. Now, when you get in there, I want you to look like you're fighting that K1. I want you to give him that fucking the Reem stare. You know what I'm talking about? We need the Reem stare. Then you guys touch gloves. I'm going to need you to turn your back and run. Excuse me? I'm going to need you to turn your back and run. The fuck?
Take a lap. Lap it up. Lap it up. Take a lap. Don't throw a couple shots. Now run.
Youngest gold medalist in wrestling
Buckeyes, son.
ever. Correct. Ohio
God,
State Buckeye.
how old was he?
22?
He's 20.
Dude,
20?
20, and he won a gold medal in the Olympics. Oh my God, as a wrestler.
I think actually
That's
when he
so
won, he was-
difficult. He's wrestling guys.
Yeah.
He's wrestling guys at 33, 30, like guys
Yeah.
have been wrestling for so much longer than him too.
Yeah. Guess who's fighting in the UFC?
Your boy Kyle Snyder.
He's coming in.
He
huh?
said
What camp?
Damon Martin talked to him this morning, so we talked to him today, and
Love Damon.
he said that he wants to start incorporating boxing and jiu-jitsu into his training immediately.
Wow.
He's like, I'm in.
Damn
And
right
you know what
he's
his game plan is? Of course, for youngest Olympian of all
AK?
time, guy with a crazy work ethic. He wants to simultaneously win a gold medal while fighting in the UFC.
He can do that.
God damn.
He could do that. 100%.
And he wants to win another world championship. So if his plan worked out perfectly for him, he'd be a 2-time world champion, I think. Don't quote me on that. Pretty sure it's 2-time. 2-time world champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and simultaneously be a UFC fighter.
That's so
What is he,
crazy.
the greatest American of all time? This is the
Kid's
thing.
20.
Jesus.
He's 20.
What weight?
Thank-
What weight?
hey, obviously heavyweight. Obviously for
Oh, I'm
sure.
sorry.
God damn it. But
Damn,
let's think about.
heavyweight.
Come on. Have you seen him?
No.
Oh my God.
He big boy.
I saw a picture of I saw him like.
I never seen him. It's all good though.
No, he's at the UFC.
I
with
never
his
seen him.
medal, with his medal.
Never seen him.
I
It's
saw him. I
huge.
saw him at the UFC, and he was at the fight.
Thought he was small.
No, I just saw his face. I didn't know how big he was.
So, thank God we have a young prospect. The land of dinosaurs, heavyweights.
My
Land
Lord.
of dinosaurs. Now this 20-year-old Olympic gold medalist, he's gonna fucking destroy people. God, I'm rooting for that kid. God, do we need him?
Definitely he's going to take his time too, because the Olympics aren't until 2020.
Of course, take your time.
So he's going to take 3 years. Or
Well,
something
MMA,
like that.
you got to take your time. MMA is a little bit different than wrestling in terms of like 20 years old.
I beg to differ. When you're a gold medal winner, you give that guy 2 years. He beats 95% of the competition in the UFC right now.
Really?
This is
Watch
no
a
CM,
piece of
yeah.
shit.
This is no CM
Striking
Punk
and stuff. Striking is a
situation.
very different thing, though.
Thank you, B. So Cain Velasquez
Yeah.
couldn't hold a torch to this kid. Daniel Cormier couldn't hold a torch to this kid wrestling.
You're talking about wrestling.
Yeah, I'm talking about wrestling. Those guys, Daniel Cormier, I mean, he started doing it not even 2 years.
Yeah, quick
Cain
learning
Velasquez,
curve.
not even. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Real
A
athletes.
guy of that level who's dealing, wrestling is a form of combat sport.
Sure.
It's going to, and if he's an athlete and gets with the right coaching, 2 years, that guy, this ain't CM Punk.
Whole different thing.
This ain't CM
Whole
Punk. You want
different
to see what a
thing.
real athlete from real wrestling looks like in 2 years with world-class work ethic?
Good God.
He's going to fuck some people up, man. My money's on that kid with his work ethic.
How about giving that kid 5 years to strike?
And he has a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have, well, many would say one of the best pound-for-pound fighters ever.
What do you mean
TJ.
many? I say everyone.
I was going to say. Yeah, a couple guys. TJ Dillashaw, his lovely wife, Rebecca.
If you don't know who he is, run your face into your car as you're listening to this.
Hey, get it.
He's one of the very best in the world. Our friend TJ Dillashaw up in the Fire Kid studio. I thought for sure, because the Ascensal fight that they gave you, I thought the bigger play there was you versus Uriah.
I thought that was going to happen. So as soon as I lost the belt to Cruz, which I thought I should still have it,
We also thought you won here.
appreciate it. I I went and met with Dana and Lorenzo and Sean Shelby. They all told me that they thought I won the fight and they didn't really understand it. And so that was kind of my case. Like, look, I want this title fight. They're like, we're working through some things. We'll let you know in a couple weeks. I thought for sure they were going to match up me and Uriah. Uriah got the title fight, lost. So I thought for some reason still there would be a fight there between me and him just because of the money fight.
That's the story.
You know?
It's also, you're such an exciting fighter, so I'm very puzzled by
It's
the
not
whole
even that.
situation.
Yeah, it's all about-
Obviously, he's an excited fighter, but the story between him and
Sure.
Uriah is
That
the
sells.
fucking sell.
Yes.
Yeah, not anymore. I mean, the guy's not. I mean, there's no point for me to fight the guy now. I mean,
It's kind of over now.
it's over. Completely
It's kind of over
over
because he lost.
He's lost
that
to number
fight.
12. And he was also a number 12 ranked guy. I mean, Jimmy Rivera's tough.
He's
and
a
I knew it was
he's
a tough fight
monster.
going into it. Yeah.
Jimmy Rivera. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know him, and who had him ranked 12. The Cheeto Fingers who do the
monster.
rankings. He's
Cheeto
a
Fingers, I love
fucking
it.
Those
monster.
kicks.
Hasn't lost in forever.
Yeah.
And so him at 12. So that's a tough fight for Uriah,
Yeah.
man. And I still think Uriah's top 5 guy right now. But as
Yeah.
far as your guys' story, it's tough,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
You know what the play
Absolutely.
is, right?
What's that?
If you didn't get Dominic Cruz, which I hope you do, and
Yeah.
God willing you
That's
do,
what I'm
and
praying
hopefully
for.
Dana White gets his shit together. I mean, you might get CM Punk. I don't know what they're gonna do these days.
That's the one
You might
thing
get Mickey Gall.
No shit, man. That's the one thing that's kind of pissing me off with the UFC and this whole deal is that it's not about the sport I fell in love with. You know, when I fell in love with MMA and fighting, it was completely about the sport. Two baddest mans on the planet. When it was Chuck Liddell out there, he didn't have to talk all this crap to get the fight. He just went out there and performed and was the baddest man on the planet. So they gave him the fights he was deserving. You know, now it's all about how much trash you're going to talk and what drama you're going to.
It's entertainment. You're selling entertainment.
I know fighting is entertainment, but it's more of the drama of reality TV than it is an actual sport anymore. And it really kind of just disheartens it for me. You know, it almost makes me want to say like, fuck this.
You're too good to
That's
do
not
that.
who I am. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to go out there and it would look too fake if I'm going to go out there and try to go out of my way to be a Conor McGregor and talk a bunch
Nothing's
of
worse,
trash.
my man. Nothing's
Yeah.
worse when a guy who that's not in his nature to talk shit like that,
Yeah.
and he tries. You're just like, oh my god. A, I can't give you the fight. B, I mean, don't do
No,
that.
you just keep
But-
being brilliant.
But with you, if for whatever reason, let's say Dominic still isn't ready by the end of the year or even early next year, which you should completely wait for that title shot. I wouldn't
Yeah.
take anything else besides that title
Exactly.
shot. If he's out for a year, let's say
It's
some
interim.
other, that well, I guess I doubt they do that, but
Yeah.
it'd be Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah. I mean, the only way I'm fighting is for the belt. You know, if it's for the belt, interim belt, whatever it is, like that's how I'm fighting. I mean, I just fought number 2 ranked fighter Rafael Assunção on an 8-fight win streak.
God, I forgot he was number
I was
2.
ranked number 1. So number 1 beats number 2. Where do you go from there?
A guy like CM Punk, or you see how much money a guy like Conor McGregor makes. And then you see the union talk, and you don't. I'm not trying to get you in trouble with any of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But with a union, or even if the fighters band together, when you see a guy like Conor McGregor make whatever 12 million, then you see how long you've been doing it, or you see a guy like CM Punk who's probably going to make 7 figures as well. His flat fee was 500, and then with sponsors and pay-per-view, he'll probably make 7 figures. Stuff like that, and you can see the disgruntled UFC kind of grouping of fighters like throwing shade at him, but I don't think it's because you guys dislike CM Punk, and I don't dislike CM Punk.
Not at all. He's a great guy.
It's just when I see the amount of work a guy like TJ Dillashaw puts in,
Yeah.
and I see these other guys,
Over a
that's
lifetime,
an issue.
by the way.
Yes.
What you mean over a lifetime?
CM Punk would irritate you more than Conor McGregor does, because Conor created what he's making. You know, he's got a whole country behind him. He does a great job at trash talk and
Fights all comers,
building
too.
fights up. And he knocked
backs it
out
up.
Jose Aldo in 13 seconds.
Yeah.
So him getting
He backs
paid,
it up, yes.
Yeah, he backs it up. A
He
guy like
deserves
CM
every
Punk,
bit of it.
that's another story, because he came in and is making more money than me off his first fight in the UFC. You know, that one's tough to swallow. Until you get to know the guys, they'll start like knocking soft if they know they're going to come to the door. But the first time they came, they almost sounded like they're going to kick down the
Isn't
door.
it a weird ego thing?
That's obnoxious.
Isn't it a
It's like,
weird?
I'm going to come into
fucking-
the door. It's
that's
6 in the
fucking
morning. I have
How
obnoxious.
to
cool,
clothes
how
on.
cool would it be if 10 minutes before, because you're not going to do shit in 10 minutes, you get a text that goes, yo, TJ, this is Gary with USADA. I'm going to come test you.
Yeah.
Please be ready. Cool. Come to the door. What's up, TJ? Just here for the piss. Might take some blood. I don't know what they do these days. Piss,
Yeah, blood and
blood.
piss, yeah.
yeah. So
Usually some semen and feces.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
usually shit in this cup as well.
Shit and jerk off.
This is for my personal supplies. But so they
And
do
you have
that.
to kiss me on the mouth. I have to do a saliva swab.
Like why not just be cool? But there's this ego thing you see with these guys where they think they have a sense of power
They do.
over the they really don't, over the baddest man on the planet. Sir, you're collecting my blood and urine at 6 in the
It's called
morning.
government oversight, overreach.
It's nuts.
It's crazy.
What?
man.
What? So now they're kind of cool, but at first they wanted. They. I would be so pissed about that.
Oh yeah, the first time they did it, it was crazy. I mean,
You guys don't have children, correct?
No, not yet,
You wake
no.
my baby up, I will. You know what? You're gonna get your urine. I'm gonna piss down your throat.
Yeah.
It's so to get my kid to sleep. You wake that kid up.
that's how Matt Brown was when he answered the door, because he's got a little kid and he's got some twins as well, and they wake up the whole family when they're knocking on the door. He
Good
was
luck with that.
pissed.
They knocked on, like they bang on the door like that.
Oh yeah, like they sound like they're straight up like you've done something wrong. Police coming to get you.
I would lose my fucking mind on those guys. Who do you think you are? Don't knock on my fucking door like that.
But there's a better way to go about it. There's just such, like I had a business transaction. I won't give the details of it, but the guy called me and literally was just name calling, being nasty, and this is a grown man, grown ass man, 40-something, kids, businessman, yelling blah 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 blah. I just hang up. He's blowing my phone up. So I give it like an hour, and I call him back, and he's like, "What, motherfucker?" I'm like, "Let me ask you something, man. Do you really think this is the way to get business done? Did you really think someone would respond positive to this? Or, and I'm completely down to talk with you about this and figure this out. Or do you want to talk to me like a man and we'll figure this out?" And he's like, "God damn, you're right, man." I'm like, "Yeah, there's no need for that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Who's going to respond to that?"
Yeah. My problem is that sometimes certain people get into a position and they are more into getting off on this kind of power than actually doing
like
their
a lot of people that
job.
become cops.
And just people in
Or TSA agents.
government.
Yeah.
Government. That's
In a
why.
line, shoes to the side. Yeah, bitch, I've been in the airport 1,000 times.
Listen, the bigger,
You don't need to yell.
the more power you give to your authorities, government, human beings,
Yeah.
forget cops, just human beings, if you give them power over you, they're going to take power. It corrupts you. And that's why
The
I
wrong
believe in
people,
the
for sure.
Constitution.
There's some guys in USADA who
course.
are actually really cool.
Of course they
Yeah.
are.
I'm assuming. I've never dealt with them. But then there's some cops who are really cool. Of
course.
With TSA, some of them are awesome. And then some you're like, dude, you don't even have a gun.
Human beings.
You don't even have a gun. You have no qualification to even be here. You guys have never caught anybody ever.
Well, so human beings.
I obviously don't have a bomb in my shoes, sir.
Some people, when they get in a position,
Figure
where
it
they have
out.
a badge and stuff, they're going to take advantage of it. Yeah.
I mean, I did an interview about it. I think after the first time I got drug tested, and I talked about how crazy it was and showing up the door and being dicks about it. And then ever since then, they've been cool. So he must have listened to the interview and
They need a reality check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They need a reality check.
yeah, and he follows me on social media. So
Oh, that's
I-
cool.
I called him out, and then now he's a lot nicer when
He's
he
on
comes
my
to the
bad,
door.
bro. He brings cupcakes and shit this time. What's up, man? I'm here to check your dick out. Because they have to look at it, right?
They have to look at
at
your,
it.
They have to
Oh
look
yeah,
at
I mean, he's had to do a lot more than watch me pee. So one morning he came and I could not pee. I just like couldn't do it, and I was like, I have to take a shit. He's like, oh, you're gonna have to shit. You won't be able to pee unless you shit. And so, and I was wearing like a robe. I had nothing underneath.
Okay, doctor.
Oh, no.
And so
Did he hold a plastic bag under your rump?
So I had to like derobe, completely butt naked. He has to stand in the small bathroom, stand in the bathroom while I'm taking a shit, so I can piss at the cup at the same time.
Sucks.
Imagine that guy's job.
Oh yeah.
How you doing over there, buddy? Healthy bowel movement, huh?
No. What
It's
a
just fucking-
bummer.
Yeah.
What else you got?
He's very fit. He's got a really taut body.
This is an interesting little story.
Oh,
that's making the
TJ
rounds today.
Taut Dillashaw. I just came up with your fucking nickname. What a lame. TJ.
Congratulations,
TJ. Blonde and smooth. Dillashaw.
Barbie.
The bar.
TJ the male Barbie. TJ the human
Looks more
Ken
like
doll.
Yeah, looks more like Ken.
Yes, TJ the human Ken doll. TJ the delicious.
Yeah, I don't know if you've
The
noticed.
natural blonde.
I don't know why I noticed, but have you noticed with the Barbies, they have all races now. Like there's
As well, they fucking
with,
should.
Oh no, they have like transgender Ken now.
Oh no way.
Oh
That's
yeah,
even better.
they have-
Oh.
I'm pretty sure they have
way
like
they
gay
have trans
Ken.
Ken.
They have
Look
gay
that
Ken, and he's in the thing just like,
Well, Ken's always been gay.
how dare you? No, he
Ken's
hasn't.
always been gay as shit.
No, man, he has his bitch.
Oh, no, Ken's been gay as shit.
Barbie's his side piece.
No, he's been gay as shit. He shaves his arms, he shaves his chest, he shaves his legs, he has no hair on his...
So is
he doesn't have
Cristiano
a dick.
Ronaldo.
I know. And, well...
So now we have to be hairy to be not gay.
Oh, I know. Now you gotta be
We gotta be
here.
like-
You
we
gotta
gotta
be
be like
Armenian, not to
Gotta
be
be
gay,
like
I
me.
guess.
Gotta be all hairy. TJ, smooth as a pedal, smooth as saddle leather Dillashaw. God, I'll
What
come
else
up with,
you got?
I'll come up
Hopefully, you
with-
got better ones.
My dropping knowledge.
He started doing that. I was like, oh, fuck.
My dropping knowledge is that deer and horses in the wild will eat fucking birds if they can sometimes.
Sometimes.
And here's another dropping knowledge.
Someone researched that.
It happened once.
Here's another
I think
dropping
that's the
knowledge.
exception, brother. I don't think it's part of their
No,
diet.
It's very much
that's
an
the
It's
exception.
very much an exception.
Like, I don't know if
they'll
you guys
eat
ever heard the
protein.
time when he said he was dead serious. He's like, do you know how many penguins a polar bear can eat in the wild? And then I don't fucking know. I haven't been to fucking biology or zoology since
I was
fifth or sixth grade.
I was
He goes, 86. I'm like, God damn, that's a lot of penguins. 2 minutes after the
I was
show,
embarrassed.
someone saw it. I had fifth graders being like, can you let Brian know polar bears and penguins don't live on the same fucking area on the earth?
They don't even live in the same side of the earth. They have
One's
to
in the
travel
North, one's in the
thousands
South
of
Pole.
mi- Yeah, yeah.
You lied. And then I
lied.
go, bro, where'd you get drop knowledge? He goes, my daughter on the way here. She's 7.
Yeah,
You got a
yeah.
major show here.
I fucked up. I was embarrassed.
And then I go, bro, you got to do better drop knowledge. He goes, no problem. I got you, man. Hey, guys, do you know the secret ingredients in Dr. Pepper?
That wasn't
And I
dropping
go,
knowledge. That wasn't-
prune juice. And he goes, correct, Brendan. Very good. Sure enough, someone goes, hey, just so you know, directly from Dr. Pepper, there is no prune juice in Dr. Pepper.
But my conspiracy is that it is prune juice, but they just don't want to admit it.
Well, that can be a dropping knowledge. We could call it conspiracy theories, or we call it bullshit with Brian
Here's
Callen.
a
True
dropping
and
knowledge.
false. The next one should be called true and false.
This is true.
Well, that'd be fun. True or false?
True or false?
True or false? Ready? It costs more to make a penny.
First segment starting now.
True or false? False. It costs more to make a penny than a penny. True. What do you say?
False.
False.
It's true.